Hello, welcome back to I Create For You. Um, I'm starting a new book. It's called Ghosts Among Us. It's True Stories of Spirit Encounters by Leslie Rule. And the section we're going to cover today is going to be radio, like radio stories. And I'll read it. I'll read the beginning first, and then I'll read the story. Hosts and Ghosts, and this is the Leslie is talking about her experiences here. The author. For about 50 weeks of the year, radio hosts seem to forget I exist. But during the last 2 weeks of October, my schedule is jammed because suddenly they all want to talk about ghosts. One Halloween season, I was interviewed 70 times in the 10 days leading up to the spooky holiday. Most of the hosts do not have time to read the copies of my book that my publisher sends them, but ask polite questions. And some want to talk to me for just laughs and ask me inane questions about Scooby-Doo, the cartoon canine who travels with a paranormal investigative team. Though many of these interviews take place at 4 a.m., about 6 hours before my normal wake-up time, that is okay with me, as I don't have to get out of my pajamas. The beauty of radio is that a guest can be interviewed over the phone. A surprisingly high percentage of radio hosts put me on hold after the interviews as soon as there is a commercial break. They probably share a personal ghost story. It wasn't long before I realized that these stories belong in their very own chapter. Here are a few of the fascinating accounts that radio personalities have shared with me. I'm going to read Thelma's Tricks. Erskine, the host of a nationally syndicated radio program that often probes paranormal topics, has had more than his share of surreal experiences. I lived in a haunted house about 15 years ago, said the host of the Edgy Weekend show, adding that he and his wife Charlotte nicknamed the place Haunted Hollow because of all the strange things that happened there. The Borden, Indiana two-story house was a little isolated and sat on a wooded 10-acre lot. Our nearest neighbors were a herd of cows, he said. The house was about 150 years old, and there had been some strange deaths there. Once the site of a bootleg business, some believed that the homestead was haunted by the ghosts of a couple of moonshiners who were ended there. One person was ended with a corn knife in the middle of my driveway, Erskine told me, explaining that the weapon resembled a large machete. But the unexplained phenomena that surrounded the home had a mischievous quality to it, and Erskine and Charlotte came to suspect the ghost belonged to a child. The theory was strengthened when they and their guests began to see a small shadowy shape darting through the house. The apparition was child-sized, and the mischief smacked of a naughty little boy. One morning we got up and found dog food in the oven, said Erskine. Someone or something had dumped 50 pounds of dog food into the oven. Another time the couple was startled when their Siamese cat Sam appeared to be dragged across the room by an invisible presence. It was as if someone had him by the tail, and the cat clawed at the rug, trying to pull himself forward as he skidded backward. The other cat, Spasmo, a big orange tabby, watched with wide, startled eyes. He ran to the utility room and got up on top of the water heater and didn't leave that room for 5 years, said Erskine. They were surprised when they learned that the naughty little ghost was not a boy but a girl. A visitor to the home told them that one of her relatives had once lived in the house, a little girl named Thelma, who died of dysentery. She told us that Thelma was a tomboy, said Erskine. Thelma also seemed to enjoy giving gifts. She left pennies all over the house, said Erskine. Most inexplicable was a 1991 penny they found in 1990. We took it to the bank and showed it to them. They said it was counterfeit. That, of course, did not make sense. Why would someone counterfeit pennies with future dates? But it was the only explanation that would make sense to the bankers. Charlotte had a favorite necklace, and for years she shopped for the perfect pair of earrings to match it, to no avail. One morning she woke up on her birthday to find that a pair of earrings had mysteriously materialized in the middle of the kitchen table. They matched the necklace perfectly, said Erskine, who could only conclude they were a gift from a friendly little ghost. While Erskine and Charlotte were rarely pestered by the ghosts, they had a house-sitter who felt differently. They returned from a trip to find her sitting on top of her suitcase in the middle of the kitchen floor. She looked at us and didn't even say hello, said Erskine. She told us, "It didn't bother me when the canisters moved around. It didn't bother me when I saw weird lights in the house. But it did bother me when I packed my suitcase and woke up to find my clothes strewn all over the house with my bras going around on the ceiling fan. It may be difficult to keep a house sitter when you live in a haunted house, but Erskine mentions one big plus. When you have ghosts around, you never get broken into." Boy, that little girl she was something else, wasn't she? Well, I'm going to be doing the sketch of a little tomboy, so to speak. Hold on one second. Okay, I had to get a piece of paper. Okay, I'm going to draw her as a tomboy. So I'm going to bring you down. We're going to do her face first. Ooh, that's a funky face, right? And I try to draw it dark so that you guys can see, because I've noticed that I haven't been doing a very good job of that. Okay. Give her some hair up here. Ears. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Smile. That was one creepy movie. So I figured since she is such a mischievous little ghost, I was going to give her that smile. And since she's a friendly ghost, I'm going to have her say hi to you guys. Don't mind my fingers. They're just horrible. Lately, I've been having trouble with doing these hands. I'm not a people drawer person. I'm a animal. Okay. And I'm just going to draw her feet. And then, because she's a ghost, she's going to get ghostly here. This isn't the best drawing. But I've been having trouble with my phone. And that's why I'm in a hurry. Because it's not letting me actually finish anything. I've done this. This is like the 5th time I've done this video. It's totally ridiculous. So I had to empty out my phone the best that I could. Okay, now we're going to give her spooky eyes. Because she is a spooky ghost. And that spooky smile. There she is. There's Thelma. She's really spooky. Look at her smile. I think the 2 things that really stand out to me in this story is the 50 pounds of freaking dog food in the oven. I mean, you don't care to clean your oven to begin with, and then you got 50 pounds of freaking dog food in your oven. Another thing that makes me laugh is how she had the bras hanging on the ceiling fan going around and around. That's pretty cute. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope you'll be coming back for more. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't. We'll have quite a few more. I have tons. There's tons in here, and they're all not that long, so it's not going to be very long videos. Please stay healthy, stay warm, stay kind, stay creative, and stay tuned for more. Thank you so much. See you later. Bye for now.